Monday morning at that. This is the NNO podcast. I myself, they call me T the Chef. This guy right here, everybody should know who he is. World famous ball, the technician. Jay Cutter is in the building.
What's up, y'all?
Trying to own the building. You know, we do what we do on a Monday. You know what I mean? But
Take over.
yeah, trying to catch up, get some of this news out here, and feel good doing it. You know, so man, I tell you, how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. It's good. Got some rest. It's always good.
Hey, boy,
Get some rest in.
It's a different kind of rest. It's a different kind of rest when you got grandchildren. I feel.
Yeah.
It's like you sleep.
Yeah.
So you know when you had your kids, you know you always had to bounce around and make sure they was alright and all that kind of stuff. You couldn't go to a deep sleep.
Right.
But now, did you know? Hey, I know my grandkids what they want. I'm gonna go to sleep, boy. Now when I got a little man by myself, well, you better not doze off.
Tear that place up.
Boy, look at him, man. Between the cooking butter, the lifesavers, all his racing cars and his trucks, man, my whole living room be tore every morning. Every morning. We gotta stop 10 minutes before I take him anywhere. Hey, man, you gotta clean up.
Right.
Hey, get them. Them yours.
Right.
Try to get it right, because you ain't gonna get me yelled at. You know what I mean?
Teach them young.
So, but if it's the baby, it's fine. You know. But if I leave it,
Those misunderstandings.
what this doing out?
Misunderstanding.
People like, don't say that shit. I would think.
You just want me to clean up after you. So I'm your maid now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's what's happening.
Because you can't never say nothing about something that's left out if you left something out, because that's always going to be brought up.
Oh yeah.
You said something out, but did nobody say nothing to you? You left your stuff.
Right. So I had to start taking pictures and video. That's how bad my head got. Yeah. Hey, what? Oh, what is rapper doing now? Ain't nothing in here. You been downstairs last night, ain't you?
See? Yeah.
Can't blame it on no kids, because nobody living over me and you. Had to be one of us. And I know it wasn't me.
See? In trouble.
Already.
Shame in the traffic.
Hey man, but we gonna kick today off here. We just got some things we need to talk about, man. Like this situation in Gary, Indiana. Like how these people been almost 2 weeks without no power, man. What's going on, Jay?
I just think it's not a sense of urgency, because when I looked it up, and to see the mayor speak out about it, but it not get done, says a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It says where their priority list kind of reads, and the people evidently are low on the priority list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was.
It's bad, because it's like, even if you, like for instance, here, when we had Helena, I noticed that it was other power companies from out of state, out of the area, different things. They were coming here to help in efforts. And, even though we were down for a minute, you can understand it, but you saw progress.
Yeah, you saw people moving.
Yeah, it's different when you see progress. You have more patience with the system, and those that are doing those things, you have patience with them. But when you don't see, like the progress you should, makes you wonder. Like, it's crazy. It's like more than 20,000 people still. Now, my question is this: do those 20,000 not pay their power bill?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like there's nothing that helps the people win, because not only do you have to spend extra money, but you got to figure out extra ways to live and function as all this is going on. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to cost you, but you still have a power bill coming.
Right.
You know?
And that's the thing I think is, I don't know how they handle that situation, because I know that when we get storms or we got anything that you start seeing trucks early, they stage somewhere until, you know, it passes through and then they go to work.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know how they handle that, you know, knowing that storm had went through there, but it just seemed like if you wasn't there, if you wasn't staged for it right then and there, then the next day you should have had, you know, 500 trucks on the ground trying to make this thing, you know what I'm saying, make it work. You know, because you know you got elderly you got to deal with, you got babies. You know, how do these like the senior homes and all that, how they gonna function with no power?
Right.
You know,
Right.
the average person can figure out something, but when you got vulnerable adults and stuff like that, you know, you just throwing them to the wolves in a sense.
Yeah.
Like there is no care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, if nothing else, somebody should have been rolling in with backup generators, something. You know, it should just put a better plan in place. I
Yeah,
guess.
or at least have mobile units to check on it.
Right, right.
If you can't solve the situation, at least make it better. So I
Right.
think, you know what I'm saying, the people that are listed as maybe on disability, maybe, you know, retired, whatever the case may be, maybe on oxygen or you know,
Yeah.
all the different things that, you know, kind of categorize all that stuff. If you would have like a mobile unit to see about,
Right.
set some mobile units and stuff like that, it helps the people calm down some. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, okay, at least they trying.
Right, right.
You know,
And that may
see
be
others,
that may be the case now. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, they almost 2 weeks in, and, you know, I was just, matter of fact, I was up late last night just looking at what little news coverage there was on the situation, to you know what I'm saying, to shed light on it, and the lady just was breaking down, because she was like, look, you know, it's been 12 days, like, I'm exhausted. I got no means to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, so you know that hope goes right out the window. It just seemed like it should have been a better, somewhere in there we should have just been better situated to, you know, make things a little bit easier. And at the same time I was doing that, you know me, I got to research. So I looked up and I said, how much money did we send to Ukraine? And they said they allocated $160 billion to Ukraine, of which $111 billion has already been dispersed. And you trying to tell me we can't help these people in Gary, Indiana, in the United States, our own people, but we got money for everybody else.
Yeah, but it's a split though, because if you look at how this business runs in the United States, this large corporation runs different. If you're not adding money, you're not important. So if you're already relying on the system, you're not an urgent piece. You know what I'm saying? To see about you and get after you.
Right.
Like it says on here, the NIP SCO officials have estimated electricity will be restored to Gary by the end of Tuesday, August 25th. So tomorrow. They say that power will be restored. So we'll see after tomorrow whether they're coming through on what, you know, they said put out here in this news here. And this is just on some national news to where they said this, and it came out yesterday, the 23rd. But they said they estimated by Tuesday that it would be restored. What is estimated, which is a key word for, you know, we might get to us straight now. We might not. Yeah. But like I say, it's the thing. This is the part that gets me though. Social media can make something explode if it's gonna anger the people, they make it explode. But when it's something that will balance the people, they hold it to a minimum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything that'll jump out that'll get somebody upset, they'll push it. It'll be every time you scroll, you'll see it. Every time you scroll, you'll see it.
Right.
But when it's something that will cause balance to the chaos, it's very rarely even put out there.
And that's something that I saw, because I seen the food influencer, Keith Lee was talking about he was gonna, I think he had maybe somebody local that had a food truck or something, that he was gonna go out and put out meals and stuff like that, but it's just like nobody's even knowing what's going on, just because it's just been a lack of coverage. And I really don't understand it for the people who have had access to the story. You have to go and push it along every platform and every way you can, and more, not just about reporting about the bad stuff that's going on or what's going on, but give the public ways to help, to help the situation, because we here, we gonna jump in just the car and just make a trip just that quick because we got other things going on, but it ain't like I can't donate to something or somebody that's out there going to get bottled water or trying to provide clothing or just places that make be online, they can give people showers and stuff like that. So if we don't know, we don't know, but it just seemed like I seen somebody say they was making a plea, or somebody was holding a sign saying we'll see Indian and Fox, tag onto the story to let them know what's going on. But my thing is this, you got a governor, you got a mayor right there, there's a governor that knows what's going on. So why your National Guard have been put in place to, to help people and all that. So it's tragic, man, that we keep going through the same thing, especially when it comes down to like even with Katrina, how bad it was, and it's just like everybody sat still, when people were trying to scramble to figure out, man, we need to get out of the city, or what we need to do, and it just seemed like with all this prepping we have for war, we got a plan for war at any time, but we ain't got a plan to get people, what they need or out of harm's way, when something like this happens. That's crazy.
But it just shows you what they hold, what they hold like important, and who's important and who's not. It's the same. It's almost like you hear people say all the time, if we can get better people or different people in office, that things will change. But one thing you have to realize, a machine does what a machine is designed to do. Now, regardless of what kind of parts you have, it's still trying to do what it was designed to do. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can look for that, but all you're doing is looking for a stronger carburetor to be in that motor, or better fuel injector heads to be in that. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at a stronger alternator or whatever, but you're not gonna get a whole new, different type of engine to where it runs on something different or it does something different. No. They're just replacing parts of the same machine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different person gets in and operates the machine the same way. And you just have some that don't care and they're willing to, tell you what they do it to you, and others just hide. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just pat you on the back and stab you and say, some of them stab you in your front. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but they tell you, good job.
Yeah. Good job. And that's one of the things reading here, just trying to get some facts and stuff going, so maybe we can do something to help the people. But they say before donating money or supplies, it's a good idea to check with the current needs through the city of Gary, the local food banks, and the recognized disaster relief organizations. So they said if you are trying to donate something, bottled water, of course, non-perishable foods, batteries, flashlights, power banks, things of that nature. Just where, like I say, some people have been out of been on the power so long, they don't, you know, I'm pretty sure you try to recharge your cell phone, it ain't nothing you can recharge it with, so, you know, the power bank's probably definitely come in handy, but it's about whatever you can do from your heart, from where you at.
Yeah.
I think it's you know the biggest message out there. And as we speak, you know, when we jump off this air, we're gonna figure out exactly what we can do to try to send something. You know, if nothing else, try to get something immobilized to get you know something to these these people.
Yeah.
You know, because stuff like that, we know stuff gonna happen, but the response should be a whole lot swifter, better planned.
Yeah.
You know, that the plight ain't that long. You know what I mean? But we got to do better. So, but I want to start off with that one. So
The division of our people too is hurting us major.
Oh yeah.
When these kind of things happen, you know what I'm saying? Because if we were still connected community-wise like we used to be, it made things a whole lot easier no matter what came.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all get together. You know, it's folks that do care.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That don't live there.
Right.
But still do care about you all. You are our people.
Right.
So, you know.
But
Yeah.
I know for you, I know you had something you wanted to talk about.
Well, I just wanted to touch a little bit on this Enos Cantor, this whole transgender thing. This is my only kick to it. I don't care what you do to yourself personally. If that's what you feel like you are or want to be, that's fine. Okay. But this is where I have a problem with everything. Don't try to change or distort what's already in place. Like this league, the WNBA is a league for women, thus giving you the W. The men have the NBA. You can't, I repeat, you can't create another lane. That is where that's why this presents a problem mentally for me, is because you feel like you can create a lane for you. That's just like being on the highway. You say, you know what? It's 3 lanes, it's kind of crowded. I don't want to drive with them. I want my own lane. There's no possible way that you can create your own lane to drive in. And no one is going to put money into construction for you to have your own lane on the highway. That is what I see when you're trying to put your situation into other established franchises and associations. You shouldn't be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if they feel so strong, what I think they should do is quite a few of them. So I mean, come up with your own league.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That way you don't have any discrepancies. No one saying anything,
Right.
and you'll get mad support evidently because you get enough support to cause a ruckus towards the WNBA. So, and you know you'll get enough support to have your own league.
Right.
Why? But see, the whole thing is I'm gonna make you deal with my stuff.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's
See,
the only problem I have with it.
And that's the reason why I think it's
It's the only thing.
that resistance is like that is simply because you trying to force me to deal with your stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of you saying, okay, you know what? Let's sit down and see how feasible it is to just do our own thing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And not to cause a ruckus nowhere if that's it. But to me, it seems like a little piece of just a little tiny piece of weakness in a sense that a man that's 6'8" and got some weight on him wants to go and actually go up against a young lady who is, you know what I'm saying, 5'5", And you know what I'm saying? 5'5", 110, 20 pounds soaking wet. Like you know, just in the physical part of that, you're gonna dominate that person. You get what I'm saying? So tell me how that makes you feel like a winner. How you feel you won?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, it's something wrong in that whole aspect.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, I ain't out here to bash nobody, but as soon as somebody gotta say something. It doesn't make sense.
See, I'll go back even further. You've watched young ladies raise up from here to their young adult status or whatever they are, playing hard every day to get better at basketball.
Right.
To get to a certain level in basketball. Some of them even using it to get to school. Some of them using it to better their lives. Some of them, you know what I'm saying? Some of them using it as their only career.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like you can take that from them.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like these young ladies that have worked so hard to get to these levels, I don't feel like you can, and basically saying, that's like when a person sees the finish line, you move it back. But it's like, no, the finish line was right there. How you get way back there? You know what I'm saying? I had already set myself to have enough energy to get right here.
Exactly.
You know, but then you move it back. You know, so
and then when you really think about it, how long it even took for us to get a WNBA?
Right.
You know, in the fight, those women had to just exist then.
Right.
And now you saying, hey, I failed as a former NBA player. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tell the world I'm switching up and I'm gonna go up against these young ladies.
But that's my thing. That's where the line should be drawn, because you have to separate your personal life from professional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're doing in your personal life, that's all well. That's your business.
Right.
You know, but me personally, I just don't think that you should be able to come and shake up a whole league or shake up a whole system, because guess what? If it goes through in the WNBA, it's going to go through in college, it's going to go through in high school, it's going to go through all levels.
Right.
And so now
you just gonna push out a whole lane of young ladies that
See what I'm
doing this
saying?
all day long.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it just, to me, it's just, the thing about it is, it shows you where we are as a country. It shows you what we're willing to allow, how much they really care about people here. And it shows you that it's not about the people here. It never has been.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, you have to look at it's a less amount of scholarships. I mean, it's already harder than it was before to get in to the collegiate levels and home beyond that. But when you go ahead and add another obstacle,
Yeah.
how do you encourage the kids?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you encourage your kids to push through if it's set up roadblocks on down the line that they may not be able to, kind of get over? To me, that's just the only discouraging thing about this, is that they don't draw the line. I understand having whatever for people that want to do what they want to do. That's great. Do your thing. But don't make everybody adjust to you. You adjust. That's my whole thing. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you're trying to become, whatever you know what I'm saying, you feel like you are or not. You deal with that. But don't make everybody deal because you feel different than what the rules are actually set in place as.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The rules are already set and they've been working. And they set up a channel. And the channel's been working. And so I don't feel like they should allow it, because it's just like a perfect example of having a young man that wants to, be a woman in any type of sport. Okay, first of all, men are stronger than women. I don't care how many weights you lift as a young lady. I don't care how fast you are as a young lady. Your body is not what a man's body is. If you both do the same thing, the same workouts, same lifting and all the other stuff, the man's body is just stronger. Okay? Now, this is where it gets into the sticky part, because it's like, okay, in my mind, I feel like a woman. That's fine. Do woman things in your personal life. But on a professional level, there should be a line, because certain things are meant for women, like the WNBA. Certain things are meant for men, like the NBA. When you lose that line, okay, you're now canceling out gender. And when you cancel out gender, guess what happens? So let's look at this thing, because this is way bigger than this little article that they're trying to do. Because now you're going to disturb the balance in the household. Because now you're going to have questions coming to these young men and young ladies on whether they should be guys or girls. That is not something they should have to deal with. That's not something parents should have to deal with. See, that's stuff that you, when you get grown, guess what? Do your thing.
Yeah.
If that's what you feel, do your thing.
Right.
But you're influencing. They don't look at the platform that they have and the influence that it's putting on the younger people.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes it harder to mentor, because now a kid may be feeling some type of way, and it just may be that they're socially inadequate. But see, you throw something like that in the mix, and they might feel like, well, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like even though it's not.
It's not. It's easier for me to tag on to that.
Easy, because it's already a created lane, man. That's my major beef with this whole thing, because it's not about the professional play on the court, because truthfully it wasn't that good, but it's not that the fact of them dominating, it's the fact of what happens when they hurt one of the other girls. What happens when their aggression is just way too high? What happens when someone's child is affected by it? You know what I'm saying? What happens when they're in the locker room?
Yeah,
things don't go right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We done seen the malice at the palace.
You see?
What you gonna do when something like that break out?
Right.
You know what I mean? You got guys who got hands this big, slugging,
Right.
hitting women in the face and all this kind of stuff.
It can go too many different ways, man.
Right.
It's just some stuff. I understand they want people to feel included. I get it, but some stuff you can't include yourself in.
Right.
And to me, this is just one of those things that you can't.
Okay, but it's just going back to what you were saying earlier, right? So let's just say you can create that lane and create that lead strictly for that particular type of athlete. Then, I mean, has nobody not tried it because they thinking they're not going to get the support, or they figure people are going to be funny with them about how, where they play at, or why hasn't anybody just taking more time to concentrate on that part of it instead of disrupting these ladies, careers, instead?
Glad you said that, because it's not about creating their own lane. It's about them implementing their ways in yours. See, this is all about them getting in. It has nothing to do with them creating their own lane, because it's not about the sport. It's not about the basketball. It's the political side.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's just like when you saw how the protest started, Black Lives Matter, turned quickly into All Lives Matter, then turned quickly into Gay Lives Matter. It snowballed because it opens a door. So this is the same thing this will do, which will open a door that's going to snowball as well. See, because it's really not about basketball, because they have the money. Their community has a lot of pull and a lot of money. So they honestly could have their own league. They could. Mm-hmm. But see, to me, the way everything's been brought to the table, it's not about having their own league. It's not about them being able to play. It's about them wanting to play with you. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to be on your platform. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
That's to me, that's what it is. They're basically forcing their way in. is what it seems like. I'm gonna make you accept me in yours, even though I don't fit in yours. I will. You're gonna fit me in, because see, this is the thing. I was looking at part of the article, and it was talking about how there weren't necessary laws in place or rules set from the WNBA to just say, no, we can't do that. See, they didn't have stuff in place because guess
So
what? They weren't ready.
Right.
No
left
one.
the loophole.
Yeah.
I can slide in right here.
Because they didn't. I mean, I could imagine that the league wasn't expecting it.
Right.
That was probably the last thing they're expecting to have to deal with.
And then I guess I go back to just what you said a few minutes ago about, how does that translate to the use of the locker room and this and that? Because technically, no matter how you feel, you still a man. And I'm pretty sure those ladies probably, they take showers and all this kind of stuff before they get in their clothes. And how all that gonna work? You gonna be separated, from, it's just a lot.
It's the same way it went in the schools and different places, out in social places, restaurants, etc., to where they began to create different bathrooms. It once again is making you make decisions unnecessarily.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, some of the politicians have stood on it. What you were born as is what you are.
Right.
And I get the mental change due to, a whole bunch of stuff, food, different things. There's a lot of things that change your levels, hormone levels. I get it. But this is the thing. I don't feel like just because you feel different that you can go into something that is not established for how you now feel. And especially with this gentleman here, because you've already played in the league. You've done basketball.
Right.
Sit down. Like, why go over? Why even cause this? Why even do that? Unless someone's getting you to do it. You see what I'm saying? That's why it brings up a lot of questions. Whether
it's money related.
You see what I'm saying?
Deal.
Is it just
The paper, I'm on.
do you really want to do this, or are you really just getting paid that good that you don't mind going ahead and being this? You know what I mean? Yeah. It brings up all kind of questions.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean?
And in this day and era, I don't put that past
Yeah.
nobody. If the paper does.
Yeah, because the money rules it at the end of the day. But I think it's a terrible time to do that because the WNBA just got pay raises. They just they just got the highest ratings, the highest levels of people watching them that they had since back when Cheryl Swoops and them played. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're back to being a primetime sport. Don't ruin it. That's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's an opinion like everybody else has an opinion. But I just feel like you're stripping these young ladies of their hard work if you start to allow this, because in true reality, a male can come in with less skill but more power and they even out. They don't look at that part, but a man could come in
with
less skill. He might not be able to break you down off the dribble, but if he pin you down in that paint, boom, he scored. Because of the straight power over your power, brutality over your brutality. Because see, guess what? It's a lot of stuff that people don't consider in that situation. Like women have breasts. You imagine what a full-grown elbow gonna do to a woman's breast? That's gonna take everything from them.
Right.
Whether small, big, whatever the case may be. Right. They're not set up the same. You know what I'm saying? Like a man, you can elbow us, boom, and we'll bounce back with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because in the paint it gets grimy, and this dude's a center. He's close to 7 foot. So I mean, it's like that's a big body. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big person.
Yeah.
Period. You know,
Right.
just walking around, that's a big person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can imagine if they're physically fit and moving at a pace. You know what I'm saying? Because they move fast. You know, they moving at a pace, and you running fast, and you come to take a charge, and you might not make it through that. So I mean, it's just so many layers.
Yeah.
To it, like it's like, why even take everybody through this, man? Like, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Let the ladies have their thing, y'all. That's my take on it. Love y'all, man. Stay strong out here. You know.
Right. Okay, so next on my list was the Penn State Express.
Do you hear me?
I'm sorry, the Penn State Syndicate.
Do you hear it? Why?
What in the world? Man, forget about it.
Hey,
What the world, man?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something though. It's crazy how you see. I'm gonna take you through something real quick.
Okay.
Right, so you remember back in the day when you had like all of these different anti-drug programs and stuff?
Yeah.
You used to go through at school.
Yeah.
You used to have all that in school.
Say no to drugs.
Yeah, just say no weed. You know, you had your little
Dare.
Yeah. And so you had all of these things set up then.
Right.
But see, let's look at it now versus then.
Okay.
Okay, so now you look at where money overtakes dignity, overtakes morals, overtakes all of that. Because you have people sending their kid to your school in hopes of an education, experience, some connections. Okay? It's really the three major things you get from college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Connections, experience, and it's an education. But what happens when you're running something that could have some people come to your school and do some things that could hurt everybody there? Like, if we all know the game. I'm just saying,
right.
Like, if money gets messed up, someone's
coming
going
to see.
good evening. Somebody's going to have to deal with that thing.
Right.
And you're doing this at a school. I think they've reached a new low. I really don't. I won't even say a new low. I'll say they got caught, because I'm sure they're not the only school. I'm sure they're not the first school. They may be the first to get caught like this, but I don't believe they're the first to funnel money through like that and deal with that. Have that dope on site. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of other schools are probably better at hiding it than them.
But I was just reading it, man. What they was talking about, that so many of them were pledges, and they was just doing it so they could join, whatever fraternity or whatever. But at the end of the day, dog, like you say, it's money on the other side of that kilo. So did you do what you needed to with the dope and then kept your hand off the money? Like, that don't make no sense. Like, if I'm gonna take the risk, I'm gonna take the paper. You know what I mean? But
Right.
It's crazy though, man. But I seen something a couple days ago, and it said if this had been at a HBCU, it'd have been everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just think about it. Like you say, let's say something like when Prime was back at Jackson State, and something like this would have happened. Man, they would, even though it might not even have nothing to do with him, they would have tore that shit apart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what's going on with, the black journalists or something. It's almost like they scared. Like, man, put this shit out like you put out everything else. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. I get it because we just don't own it. So we ain't got no control over what goes on the air whenever. So a whole lot of stories stay buried that we should know about. But this one right here, this is Penn State, my dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This Penn State.
Yeah, one of the top in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but hold on. Well, let it would have been at the U. When they had, look, when they had Michael Irvin down there and Sal and all those kind of dudes, you know what I'm saying? That would have been everywhere.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It just, I don't understand. Like I said, I do understand, you know, why. You're not gonna make that school look bad.
Well, I mean,
and then on top of that, them kids, they got paper. You know, they gonna make it disappear in a sense. I'm pretty sure this ain't gonna be no different coming out of this. They gonna say, a couple of them was addicts. So listen, it ain't no different than what happened with our treasurer years ago when he got caught with the dope. You know how they turned it around? They say what? He an addict, he need help, he ain't do no jail time. You know what I'm saying? And he just went into so-called rehab.
But see, I'm gonna tell you, I was looking at something and they were saying that the fraternity's not connected with the school. Yeah.
Huh?
That was one of the things they were talking about. But see, look, Penn State cocaine operation ran for years. This is Fox News. Fox News.
So that's what I'm saying. It's been ran for years.
That's why I say they're just getting caught, and
right.
you know what I'm saying. That lets you know there is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Right.
Okay. So the same way that we've made ourselves, the United States, one of the top dope dealers in the world.
Right.
The same way they're doing it now. The thing about it is this dope brings too much money to this country, and money is what's worshipped in this country. So it doesn't matter how you get the money; it's the fact of having the money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's where the problems come in at, is because of what you're willing to do to get the money. You don't care.
Right.
You know, because like it goes to show a lot about when these people want to put so much integrity on schools and so much integrity on officials, different things of that nature. You want so much integrity on them. How? When we all know,
Right.
dirt goes on,
Right.
and it's seldomly talked about,
Right.
seldomly found out. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's no telling what this dope money has purchased. It might have purchased some of the teams. It might have been paying coaches' salaries. There's no telling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or that might be money that went to whoever. You don't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's like we as a people get analyzed thoroughly for doing things like them. That's the thing. See, when you mentioned the HBCU, if they would have done it, they would have been doing things like them. So they would have been analyzed further and more thorough, because guess what? They're not the originators. They're not the ones setting the pace. They're not the ones setting the laws. They're not the ones setting the standards. They're doing like what they see.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you copy something, you don't have the same rights as the one that established it.
Yeah. Hey, when I said that, dude, I was like, what?
I couldn't believe it at first. I mean, you know, it was kind of like
But
that,
you know,
that thing at Penn State before.
With
With
gymnast coach.
With the football coaches too.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
Paterno.
Yeah, Hall of Fame guy.
Yeah,
Hall of Fame
yeah.
guy. When they molested the young men from
And all that stuff.
from young ages, and they started coming back out and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's there because it's a, if I may say this and be all right, DNA is hard to fight. DNA is hard to fight, and when that is your DNA, you're going to do what your DNA does, and so you're getting all these different categories of things that are starting to be seen. That's just because the skirt's coming up. Things are being exposed. That's all it is. Like, you've done it for so long, now it's being exposed. And that's what I see with this coat ring. This is nothing like new. You know, you're just looking at one particular situation in a large situation.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One set of people have been caught in
So
a
what is
whole large syndicate.
Yeah, like something gotta go on down the pipeline.
Oh yeah, because they're not running everything.
Right.
They just happen to be a branch of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah, you can tell. Like that dude look like a scientist.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like a chemist.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they cut it on the me.
Right.
It's got a room for that. But like I say, man, it's the greed, man. Like the greed can never be quenched, man. It doesn't matter what you do to try to quench that greed.
Mm-hmm.
Greed is always gonna feed off of itself. Always. You can never have enough. You can never do enough. You can never pile up enough when you operate off greed. It throws your rules out the window, throws your morals out the window, you know, because really that's what you're set off of, is your morals. You know what I'm saying? And how you function. So all that's thrown out the window when your end goal is to get that money.
Yeah.
You get that money by any means, my guy. You know what I'm saying? No matter who gets hurt, who gets this, who gets that. Let's get this bread.
Right.
We'll talk about that later.
Later, yo.
You know what I mean? We'll deal with that on the back end. You know what I'm saying?
But
I think this is crazy.
did you also see?
That's crazy.
Did you also see the 16-year-old cheerleader they charged with assault?
No.
No, you didn't see it?
No.
So her little brother's playing on the middle school team.
Okay.
So the kids that was blocking him, they were just doing a good job of what they do, right? She said she got mad because her brother was getting blocked a certain way. She's a cheerleader. The kid gets up off the ground and she trucks him like she hit him full blown as a tackle, like you know what I'm saying?
She ran him over.
And the kid looking like, what the world? What the world going on?
So she on some Bobby Boucher type stuff.
Yeah. Right? And then she just blacked out. When she seen her brother, man, I saw that and I was like, what in the hell?
That's crazy.
Now look here. Now we done got it. So we done seen parents chase refs. We done seen coaches and parents get into it, but I ain't never seen no cheerleader come off the sideline now
And handle business.
But the crazy part about it is when she tried to explain it, everybody looking like, nah, that's a BS right there. Like, hey, that's in you. You dig what I'm saying? Like you got something that's going on, lady.
Right.
Cause ain't no way you took the notion to say, oh, they blocking my brother-in-law and I need to go out here and handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Which actually traumatized the quarterback because he's stuck. He don't know what happened.
Wow.
You know, it as funny as it may look,
That's crazy.
it's not really not funny though, in the sense that
It's not.
I deal with youth sports year round. We've seen it go bad. Like we've seen parents who might want to go at a rep, or parent that might want to go at a coach. I done seen two coaches on the same sideline get into it. It can become dangerous quick. You know, and we gotta be mindful of, man, we're dealing with kids, dog. You know what I'm saying? Even though I might have something that a ref or even another coach might upset me with, I know how to get in contact with them. We ain't gonna keep going back and forth in front of these little people. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll catch you on the back end. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gotta come to harm you, but we can have a discussion. And teaching them that there's other ways around it, and I need to be violent to get my point across. Because one thing that teaches you, and I even heard this from a head rep, and he said this is what happens. He said when you see kids coming up like this, and they get a notion to just keep wanting to fight or pick and fight and pick, he said it's harder and harder for them the way they go because refs talk to refs too. And they're gonna tell you, hey, well, 79, you're gonna have to watch it. You dig what I'm saying? So now you getting a rep as a dirty player or something as you going along.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When it don't
Making it
have
harder
to-
for you.
You making it harder for yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know kids that are good kids. And you know who ruined it for them? Their parents.
Yeah. Parents do a lot.
Their parents are absolutely killing every effort for them.
Yeah.
And what they don't understand is your baby he might be a superstar on a youth program, but guess what? He gotta go to high school.
Yeah.
And what they don't think is that these high school coaches are watching. Yeah, they watching. If that kid is that good, somebody got eyes on him.
Right.
The reason why they not picking him is because of you.
Right.
You get what I'm
They
saying?
don't wanna deal with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't think, parents think
I've
that
seen that.
they sideline antics ain't got nothing to do with it. Yeah. Allow you be sadly mistaken if you don't think that whatever you do done on the sideline don't affect your child.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you gotta harness that. If your baby got hit blindside, might got an air knocked out of it. It's okay to be concerned, but you ain't got no reason to take that out on the kid or nobody else out there.
Right.
Just you chalk it up as part of the game, and you make sure your kid's okay. You
Yeah.
hear what I'm saying? But you don't understand what people don't understand. Like I said, youth football. You going into high school football. If you think you're gonna come out those stands and step on that grass, you're going to jail. As a matter of fact, they not gonna ask you nothing
At all.
They gonna lock you up. You get
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the same thing, especially this year, that I've just had to reiterate, or my coaches had to reiterate with even our parents, and we ain't even got no rival parents like that. But especially when you got new people that might not even understand the game, they just got a kid out there. Hey, this part of it. If it's gonna be some real bad, it's gonna be between me and the ref. You get what I'm saying? But there's no need for you to come out of the stands, because if you come out of there, I can stand on the field. You can't.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? So you come out the stands, you going to jail.
Right.
That's just what it is.
There is a limit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to see this young lady, and they actually charged her with assault. No matter how she was trying to explain it made sense though. Like
They're supposed to.
exactly.
You gotta draw a line somewhere.
Right. If you keep letting it happen,
I mean,
then it's gonna be out of control.
But see, then you get like the situation we had at Southside with Abbeville, and you have a situation to where there are adults mingling in, fighting other adults and children. It's just melee. It was just, dude, it was so much confusion. It felt like a beehive because it was too fast. It was too many people.
That quick.
It was a gym full of people.
Yeah.
But then you start seeing.
And that's even more scary with you because you in clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
There you know where to go.
Yeah, you know where to go.
We're trying to get the kids off the court. You know what I'm saying? Get them to the locker room. And now you start to see they had to bring the dogs out, the tear gas type deal. They in there with their fatigues on. They done had to bring in some folk. It wasn't just the guys standing at the door that normally control the flow of traffic.
Right.
It was some other stuff because it got out of hand. People was charged. You know what I'm saying? There were folk that we may see it in.
That's crazy.
But this is my whole thing, man. Like when it comes to kids, we've gotten so far away from kids having fun and enjoying something and then mastering it as they get older. See, we've lost that. See, we basically throw them on the Dallas Cowboys when they're young.
Yes.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, man.
You gotta allow them to love the game.
Right.
Then once they love the game, they'll master it.
Right.
Then they'll do the necessary steps that might
put
keep
them in
them
their
more
space.
safe.
Right.
That would help them to play better, play in a different way. Help them to learn and listen to the coach more. Help them to do all these other things, but you gotta allow them to have that love for the game. And
Right.
we've taken that time period away from the kids. And part of it is social media's fault. all this
Right.
videoing and all that. You know, people feeling like, you know, you got young superstars and things of that nature. And I get it. That's great. Support your kid. That's what you're supposed to
yeah,
do.
of course.
But this is something that I think is not talked about a lot. Is that cell phones have taken the communication skills away from the kids. So
They take
struggle.
the communication away from all of
Well,
them.
yeah,
But especially
but
the-
especially the young,
Right.
because they've had technology in their hands since they were 2 years old.
Right.
So, like, when it comes to kids having to be around other kids, some of them don't know what to do. That's what I think part of what old girl's problem was, is that her social skills are low. Because when you act out physically, that means you don't have the verbal ability.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? You can't process that
Yo,
and then talk about it.
She said, I blacked out.
That's it. I'm
So
telling
when you say that, that's like, whoa.
yeah, man.
But the
that's
thing,
what it's doing.
what I guess I'm more interested is she's 16, right? So that means she got it. Eventually, you know, I don't know if they suspended her from school or done all that, right? But do you even allow her back on the sideline?
No, you can't.
Cheering.
What I think they should do is that she should have to go through some type of mental evaluation, some type of program. She's got to go see some help because you can't live that way, honestly. And it may have been because of her brother. It may have been because of something else. You don't know. But
Right.
you can't allow her to just live that way.
Right, just do it.
Because one day she may black out on a person that don't care about her and do her in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That was even more surprising because when the young man got
That's
off the
crazy.
ground, you mean he had ample opportunity to hurt her. You know what I'm saying? He got on football helmet, cleats, and all.
It was a girl.
You know what I mean?
He
That's
probably
what
was
I'm
ready.
saying.
He was like,
No, and when he got up, you know, he just kind of walked off, and you see his teammates kind of grab him by the arm, like, man, just come on, you know what I mean, type deal, like. But he had the opportunity to, you know, and he didn't,
probably couldn't process it.
you know. But it's that man, that like I say, in the beginning, you think it's ha funny because it's a cheerleader tackling a football player, but you really don't understand how that really could have went sideways,
Yeah.
really quick.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Especially with the parents.
exactly.
That could have been a real deal situation. You know what I'm saying? Because folk roll
Right.
serious nowadays.
When it comes to my children,
Right. They
well,
roll-
look
they
here,
roll
that's
serious
all-
about the kids
Yes, sir.
now, you know.
That's a whole different ballgame.
So
You know.
I think we just honestly we gotta look at the core of stuff. We always love to talk about and react to the ending or what happens, the action.
Right.
But folks seldomly look at where it came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When stuff isn't normal, it has a beginning.
An origination somewhere.
It has a beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's
we gotta
what
get
it is.
to
But
that.
in turn, when you see a lot of people like commenting on the video, you know, they was like, that had to come from somewhere. That you know, that just ain't your normal thinking is, I'm gonna run out there and tackle somebody. So yeah, they probably didn't look at left and right because that one is a little strange to me.
It's
You know,
rage. You
yeah.
got some inner rage. You know what I'm saying? Because anger is the only thing that black you out.
Right, and that's what she said.
And-
Them her words. Ain't nobody misquote her. That's exactly what she
And
said.
it comes from areas that haven't been dealt with. Those are open wounds. And things that people don't understand that things can trigger that. Like you don't know the depth of a relationship with her and her brother. You see what I'm saying? They may have went through some things
Right.
that in her mind, I gotta look out for him at all times. I don't care who it is, where we are.
Right.
If I think you're doing him dirty, I'm coming to see you about that. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
it may be something that they went through. That's why I said it should be mandatory that they do a psych evaluation and you get her some help because she still has to become a productive person. She still got to live a life.
Right.
She still got to be around other people's kids.
Yeah.
This shit could happen in a classroom.
Then what you gonna
You
do?
see what I'm saying? Or you know, I hate that it would ever even escalate this far. But what if just get mad one day and want to just shoot something up?
Yeah.
That's where that stuff comes from. When it's not dealt with, it grows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like anything else that festers, it gets stronger. You know, and then we have triggers that we don't know about. It might be something that you do all the time, they ain't thought nothing about, and it triggers somebody that's new to it, or that's there, that's not normally there, and you do what you normally do, and it triggers them. And you looking like, man, what I do? What I do to you?
Right.
Why you flip?
Yeah.
You know, so it's so much of. I'll say we pushed the responsibility, especially with young people. That's why, as a mentor, man, that's why I think mentors have always been so important, because a lot of the responsibility that these parents are supposed to do, they don't do.
Right.
Because see, buying clothes and food, shelter, that's not raising a child. That is called your job. It's not raising the kid though. Raising the kid is paying attention to their actions, looking at their thought process, sitting down with them. Hey man, you all right? Hey young lady, how you feeling about it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sitting down with them and finding out, okay, are you okay?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I take care of you because I love you.
Right.
But I'm seeing about you because I gotta raise you.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's left out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the time people just don't know how to do it. They just don't know how to sit down and communicate. You know what I mean?
It ain't no parent handbook.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Everybody mess up.
Yeah, we mess up,
You know?
man. You know, it happens.
It's tough out here, man. That's why I say when I hear stuff like that, I think that as much as the school can do, punishment is not always it. Yeah, you're gonna punish it because you have to have consequences. Sure.
Right. But you need to follow up.
You gotta kill it.
Yeah, you got it.
You know what I'm saying? You can't let it just
Right.
roll into something else, because they're getting older.
Right.
Thoughts are getting stronger. Things are getting more concrete. You know what I'm saying? So then it becomes a person's ways instead of just an isolated incident. It becomes how you function. And when it becomes how you function, that right there dictates your life, which is, you know, that shows you the penal system, that it dictates your life, because you can go in and out of the penal system because your mindset never changes. See, the laws aren't going anywhere. Assault, that's not going anywhere. None of that. It's not going anywhere. If anything, it gets tighter. It's not going anywhere though. So you have to change your mentality to where whatever it is doesn't take you to that level to where you have to now deal with them on that level. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think the psychiatric evaluation is mandatory in that situation. Like I say, I don't know the people, but I hope that you all get your kids some help. Get her seen about, you know what I'm saying, so that it's safe for the other kids around her and her, you know what I'm saying, throughout her life, and you all at home, because you don't know if it was triggered at the house. So it's everybody needs to get involved, you know what I'm saying, and find out what the heck going on. But that's crazy, bro. You know, and it happens.
If I
more
was,
so.
yeah, I bring up, that's come across the video, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
But,
I hate that though, because I love young people, man. And
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like right now, because you know how we asked that question, boy, if I could go back, boy, nope, don't want to. Nope, don't want to be young now.
No.
Because this is a different world.
Yeah,
this is way different.
Yeah, you know.
know.
Young at heart. That's
There you go.
That's
about as far as I'm gonna get. Yeah.
But yeah, and another thing, you know, me was talking about last week, you know, is we've been apart or doing a sock drive or a canned food drive for many years. You know, we do coast covers and canned goods. We had done one. We didn't do one last year. So it's been a minute. And we used to do a sock drive, and just looking at the way we know it's getting tougher and tougher out here every day for families to survive.
Yeah.
You know, so if you look at our long range plans, you know, when we started this, you know, we tried to we know what we want to do. And my biggest thing was trying to have a food bank in a sense on you know, on that outside of town that can kind of just get the people, because there's other food banks around here, but they kind of out. And, you know, somewhere, you know, seniors and stuff may be having a harder time getting to. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, I need a building. I need a building to get started. And then I sat there and I, you know, just sitting in the garage. And I was like, you know what? I don't really need no building. I gotta start with what I got. There's a building gonna require me to pay rent. Okay? We ain't making that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't making no money. You know, people have donated to us, and I, you know, it warms my heart. But you know, I don't want to tack on another bill.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what? I'm gonna make it my duty to straighten my garage to where I can put in another small freezer and shelving that I can put candies on. Okay, and we just gonna have to start from there. And whatever money we do make, you know, we know, you know, where we go get, you know, chicken and pork and stuff, you know, in bulk. My thing mainly is those things that you can make soups and stuff out of, you know, that may last 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, that type of deal. And let's really get back to putting stuff together that was gonna help the community. We got a grill, we can go out and we can cook wherever we want to. You know, it's got deep fryers and all that kind of stuff. Just really getting back to the stuff that we were doing way before this podcast came on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, essentially, you know, even when we were doing the Thanksgiving thing, you know, you was my delivery guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like every Thanksgiving I knew, okay, I knew Joshua would come to the house, he gonna bring breakfast, we gonna sit here and watch ESPN while I'm cooking, and then when it's done, he gonna be my transporter, he gonna get it to the church for me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have done that, and we, you know, we grew it out from there to doing the sock drives, and but I think the covers coach and canvas was one of our biggest events, and we just kind of got away from it, trying to get other things going, and it's gonna be a real need for that.
Yeah.
You know, this coming season, and as you can see, or even feel this morning, you know, that weather, it ain't gonna be long before that weather makes that real shift, and all of those things are gonna be important, and we will want to try to get ahead of it, you know, as best we can, and try to do as much as we can for our community, you know, which entails everybody.
And support is the main thing. I think that we basically put out there what we are willing to do at all times.
Right.
But now we're calling on the community itself. Those of you that can, you need to. Because at any time, any of us could be in a situation of need. You're only a couple of bad decisions away from being in need.
Right.
So never think that you're too good, too big, too high, too far away from poverty to be in poverty, because it can happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta develop a unity mindset. And I ain't nobody telling you to get up, you know, do a rally or none of that, but it's like show up.
Right.
Drop something off. You know what I'm saying? Because you're adding to someone else's life, it'll add on to yours. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've gotten away from wanting to see others make it.
Right.
Into seeing and making sure mine make it. You gotta get out of that mindset. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about us. Because when you stop seeing us, it's gonna be hard for you to survive. We need to understand that. We need to get that in our head.
Right, and that's the thing about it, you know. For me, you know, when we did that episode of the Why, and like I said, you know, I've been doing this since '98. Well, really, it's been a lifetime thing, but getting out in the community and feeding folks since '98, and I've seen, you know, I've seen so many great social clubs come along and just get involved, and you know, you bring the basketball team and Coach Wakefield, when he was bringing Southside girls, they come up and help us feed at Thanksgiving, and also the social clubs that used to come to the church or where we were to feed. So we know we got the capacity to take care of our own. You know what I mean? And this is what we're gonna do going forward. Is just laying out the plans. You know, come by. If you wanna drop our carriers, let us know. We'll drop our socks and we'll phone call or text away. But we're gonna set up our nonprofit in the midst as we keep going on with this podcast. A big friend of mine, and he's like a brother, Scooter Grill. Years ago, he came up with this thing called Pay It Forward Barbecue. We never pushed it to get it off the ground, but the concept was we were gonna feed people, whether they were in need or just certain folks who may not be able to even get out to get a lunch or whatever, you know, whenever we had a chance to. And the concept was no, I just think for him, he didn't have enough push when he tried it. But we have jumped out and fed people. And I had called him a couple months ago and like, man, you know, we really need to sit down and put this on paper and make this happen. You know, so he agreed, and you'll see us, me and those parts together between trying to get the food bank going. Well, that's gonna happen regardless. Because like I said, I don't care about using the garage. You know, as long as I can get stuff to the people. So that's a me and you thing. And then throwing in what he was doing when he was trying to feed people, that's the reason why God bless us with that trailer. So we can go out and get in the neighborhood and meet our people face to face and say, hey man, I might not have a ton for you, but I at least got a hot meal. You know, not just wait until the holidays you do, because it's an ongoing need.
Right.
You know, all the time. It never stops. Homelessness never stops. Hunger never stops, especially when it comes to these children. They out of school, you know, Christmas break for 2 weeks. Sometimes that's the only time some of these kids eat. And, you know, we got to fill in that hole somewhere, somehow. So look for those things to be coming along here shortly. We'll be throwing up dates, whether it be on the Facebook page or on our personal pages, but all of that is coming within the next 30 days. We're gonna make a move, and we're gonna make it happen for this community. We ain't never been a type of people that shove anybody away. You know, we help everybody. So you know, don't look at it as you know, they gonna do just for black folk. And then because we ain't never just fed just black folk, we done fed everybody. So if you want to get involved, you can get a hold of me or Jay. We're gonna be posting up everything. And if there's somebody out there who can build us a nice landing page or something that can, so people can, you know, look us up on the web, I'd appreciate it. Get a hold of me and Jay, and we'll get the ball rolling on that end too. And let's just keep it moving. You know, we about community, man. I ain't worried about nothing else. You know what I mean? So, you got anything else for me, Big Dog?
Nah, just be looking for what we got coming, man. And merch coming soon.
Yeah.
So we'll be, like I say, setting that up as well, and you'll know where your proceeds go. And on the subscribing, just subscribe. It's free. Hit the button.
Right.
Because your hitting the button puts us closer to the goal.
Right.
You know, so just remember that's one of the things that doesn't cost. It's just effort.
Yep.
That's about all effort we got. Is that just
hit that little subscribe bell.
So you hit that,
it's free.
and you know you're helping out the cause. You know what I mean? So it's not that you have to go out of your way to help, but let's really consider each other in these last times that we're here, because the world's crazy and it's not considering each other. And you can recognize division, you can see it. Okay, so let's be a part of something opposite. Let's be a part of some unity, something together, something that's going to be stronger. Because everybody struggles at one point or another. There's a struggle point for everyone. It might not even be money. it might just be your mind. Because I know plenty of people with money who can't think straight. Because they got a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we all have something for each other. Let's just stop shutting each other out, and let's begin to open those ways of communications and networking. Let's open those doors back up, and let's really make a push. Okay, let's really make a push right now, and let's see if we can become a better community than what we already have.
Yes, sir.
Let's do that.
Okay. You good?
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Man, look at here, man. It feels good to be out here on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start the week off right.
Right. Well, you know, once we had that awesome breakfast.
Yeah.
We got
Shout out.
Right. It almost been nap time. We said, no, we're gonna come out here and walk.
Right.
Before we go on the air.
Right.
Kind of let that thing digest like it's really supposed to digest.
Right.
Instead of being in the car like,
Right. Coming in with the itis.
The itis.
Sleep.
yeah. So much love to you guys.
Yeah.
Keep on, keep on chiming in and leaving the comments and you know, like I said, you see us in the street, man. You know that's real love. Cause we still get that support. Even though people might not comment as much when they do see us, you know, hey man, I seen the podcast episode, or they tell us just keep doing what we're doing, and that keeps us going. Cause trust me, everything else comes out of our pocket, so we ain't doing it for no, it ain't no money thing in it. At least not right now. And even when we get it, it's already got plans.
Right.
We know it ain't ours. It was made to build what needs to be built. So much love to you all, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, y'all.
All right.
Peace.